Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre market this morning, stock index futures, commodities, and cryptos are all trading lower. The Russell 2000 is leading us lower, but there's the NASDAQ 100, of course, which is the big player, down $359. If we look at the current average true range of the NASDAQ 100 futures contract, it's currently running at $409.20. So we're still trading within that range, which tells me that so far the market is not overly disturbed. Now, we don't have any major economic numbers coming out in the pre-market. We've got the job openings coming out at 10 a.m. That could certainly help change the direction of the market. But so far, the market's being led lower by Palantir, which has been one of the best performing stocks in 2025, making a new high yesterday. It's trading down at the 191 level, 192 level, which is not enough to give us a sell signal. That brings us just in below the upper channel line. Over the past few months, the 50-day moving average has been acting as support, which is currently coming in around the $180 level. So we're going to be watching to see if that support holds. If that breaks, then we'll be watching to see if the flypaper can catch Palantir on the way down if the market wants to continue to push that stock lower. Moving on to the VIX is traded up to the upper channel line for the past 2 days. So a close above yesterday's high or a close above 1860 would give us a buy signal. Looking at the VIX ETF in New York, we're looking for a close above 34.44 on Tuesday. You can see since we had the pullback in the VIX, which helped move the market higher, the pros and the public have been intertwined here. And so the pros really not stepping too far away from the VIX at the moment. And in Toronto, we're looking for a close above $5.98 on Tuesday to give us a buy signal. Again, the pros and the public intertwined right now. And that's a good indication that the pros are keeping a pretty close eye on the market and a little overly concerned about it dropping more than they're concerned about it going up. Looking at the cryptos, and we cover 62 ETFs in our daily report. And yesterday, the worst performing ETF, North American ETF, was the Grayscale CoinDesk Crypto ETF, which traded back down to the $50 level. Dipped below the low of October, but did not close there. We're probably going to close below that level today. We've got Bitcoin trading down about $4,000 in the pre-market. That could take us down below the October low. And then Ethereum already trading below the October low. So not looking very bullish at the moment. Looking at commodities, starting off with the energy sector, we had crude oil closing slightly higher yesterday. It's down in the pre-market. Gasoline continued to move higher yesterday, running up towards the highs we saw back in September. And then natural gas was up yesterday. We haven't taken out 1406 yet. If we can do that, then 1484 comes into play for the UNG. Looking at the metals, and we've got copper right on the edge of a sell signal right now. We need to close below 31.27. We closed at 31.28 yesterday. So certainly the possibility of a sell signal for copper on Tuesday, which would join gold, palladium, platinum, and silver all on sell signals, all trading lower in the pre-market on Tuesday morning. Looking at the major index ETFs, there's the iShares for the TSX 60, treading water up here, having trouble breaking away from the 45.31 level. You can see that the pros gave up control a few days ago, but the market has really not pulled back much. The best performing stock on the TSX 60 and the TSX Composite was Magna, running back up to the highs that we saw a month ago. What didn't work, Constellation Software was down on the day. That was the biggest loser on the TSX 60. If we look at the difference between those two stocks, you can see when the market gave up on Constellation and when the market got overly interested in Magna. and just using the flypaper channel as a guide of a stock you shouldn't follow, opposed to a stock you should be following. We see that the market is selling into any up moves for Constellation Software, and we see that the market is buying any dip in Magna, and that's typically what happens. You want to follow the good stocks, let them pull back, and get back into them, as opposed to chasing a bad stock, which has a potential to make lower lows. Looking at the Vanguard Canada ETF, treading water up here as well. Again, the pros gave up control a couple of days ago, but we haven't seen any downward pressure at all. And we're currently trading in a range and looking for a breakout of that range to tell us which way we're heading next. Again, Magna was the big winner on the composite as well. Energy Fuels was the big loser on the day. Looking at the Dow pulled back into the channel yesterday, so we could certainly see a sell signal today. We ran up to the 476.56 level and then had trouble breaking away from that. The big winner yesterday was Amazon, continuing to move higher. If you had an order in up at 250, congratulations, it got filled yesterday. What didn't work, Merck was the big loser on the day for the Dow. Then looking at the S&P 500, we hit the 687.50 level the other day. So congratulations, you got an order filled. It does not look like we're going to be heading towards the 703.13 level on Tuesday. Now, the big winner on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 on Monday was IDEX. Obviously, I don't know the details. It probably had a takeover offer and then something happened yesterday. It's been treading water for months now, so not something I would have been following. Then staying short Kimberly-Clark, of course, that's still a good trade. No change in trend there. You can see that when the market started to dislike this stock, it's been a while now. Then looking at the NASDAQ 100, we have been able to break out above 625, but not enough to make it up to 640.63, and we're certainly not heading in that direction. On Tuesday, we may come down and fill some of those open gaps that were created last week. After IDEX, it was Micron Technology hitting a new high on Monday, and then what didn't work on the NASDAQ was Charter Communication making a new low on Monday. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we are going to see some selling at the open on Tuesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.